With whatever the actual Jaguar is doing nowadays, I want to take a look back at possibly one of the best modern Jaguars, the F-Type. Like a bad ex, you'll curse it on Monday and probably miss it by Friday. Walking a fine line between midlife crisis buy or a real driver's car, it looks exotic, sounds expensive, and now that depreciation has done its thing, it's priced like a mid-spec Camry. But behind the jawline and theatrics, is there something worth owning here? This specific one is a 2016 with the 3-liter supercharged V6, and before you groan that it's not the V8, it's possibly one of the most visceral sounding engines you will ever hear, and here's a little tease. Good for 340 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, it's rear-wheel drive only, weighs around 3,500 pounds, and Jaguar claims it'll hit 60 miles an hour in about 5.1 seconds. Trim-wise, this sits at the entry point, which is why I chose it specifically, since for once the base model is equally as desirable in my eyes, which I'll explain later. But you could also spec these with a more powerful 380 horsepower V6 or even a fire-breathing V8 with up to 575 horsepower. But make sure you're tight with your ticket lawyer for that one. Visually, it's obnoxiously good looking. It's like someone took an Aston Martin and gave it unresolved anger issues. Or maybe if you take another look, it looks like a goldfish. With a long hood and wide hips, everything about the proportions mirrors the glory of what used to be the Jaguar brand. Low, wide, and always ready to pounce. Even in V6 form, it looks like it's way faster than it is. You also have that spoiler that rises like it's trying to look important, but mostly just wants attention. The vented hood for extra drama and a side profile that's all feline muscle. And the trunk, not bad for a roadster. It'll hold a weekend bag or two, maybe a small suitcase, just don't expect Costco runs. Inside the buy my course to get rich quick mobile, the interior is actually incredible. Great leather everywhere, decent metal trim, and the cabin wraps around you in a very cockpit kind of way. Storage-wise, there's a glove box, 2 small cup holders, and a shallow bin under the armrests, enough for a phone, keys, maybe a wallet if you're lucky, and a small little hidden box between the seats. Infotainment is still as slow as people say. When you make an input, it's like it's thinking it over. But in all honesty, just slap a CarPlay unit in and you're golden. Bonus points for the rising HVAC vents when the AC is on though. You've also got heated seats as standard with optional cooled seats depending on the trim. Nothing groundbreaking, but enough to keep things civilized when you're not busy being dramatic. But I want you to take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This car is pretty special since it only has about 11,000 miles on it. Trust me, this interior will look a lot more different with 60,000 miles and a couple of rough owners. Also a neat little detail, the gauges are white in comfort and turned red in dynamic, but it almost convinces you that it's a more serious sports car than it is. Oh, and the DPMS light is on, because of course it is. Now the big one, reliability. This is a Jaguar, and yes, things can and do go wrong. The 3-liter supercharged V6 is known for timing chain tensioner wear, often showing symptoms by 40 to 60,000 miles. Water pumps have been known to fail early, sometimes under 25,000 miles. Plastic coolant pipes crack over time, the usual British build suspects. And sometimes the sensors throw random alerts for fun, like the tire pressure system doing its own thing, as we've seen. That being said, if you actually keep up on your maintenance like a good owner, the engines have actually been found to be pretty durable. Jeremy Clarkson, for example, drove an F-Type V6 across the Sahara Desert and was so impressed by its reliability and the fact that it didn't break down like the 2 other cars, he actually bought one when he went back home. So it's a coin toss, especially with the owners. But hey, at least it's a shiny coin. Let's talk value. Now you can pick one of these up for the price of a mid-spec RAV4. I just want to ask, what else gives you this much presence, this much noise, with this much drama, with leather seats and a drop top? Some people would probably say, well, a Corvette does, and it's faster and more reliable than that piece of Right, but that's just a vet. This is a... Driving this F-Type is like taming a wildcat. For 1 second, it lulls you into thinking everything's chill and gentle and okay, and in the other second, it's claws out and you're sideways. To be clear, this supercharged V6 makes 340 horsepower, so it's not terrifying, but it's definitely enough to keep you entertained. It feels planted, it's got that classic rear-wheel drive itch, always looking for a reason to kick out the rear. With traction control on, that liveliness just gets neutered mid-corner as the system yanks back power. Turn it off though, and the Jag comes alive. Just make sure your driver mod can keep up. Steering is sharp with good weight, communicative, easy to place. The ZF 8-speed shifts a little bit slower in manual, but it's usable and not frustrating. And worth noting, tapping the paddles won't do anything by default. You've got to move the shifter into sport mode, then tap a paddle to go into full manual. A little annoying, but honestly very British to make you ask for permission first. Visibility, surprisingly decent. The windshield is small, but drop the top and the road opens up. And by the time you're a few corners in, you're not just driving, you're holding the leash of something that wants to misbehave. Now, I want you to forget literally everything I've told you about this car, because it's literally all irrelevant. The one thing you need to know about it is the sounds that this monster makes. This V6 is one of the most visceral sounding engines I have ever heard. It's loud. It's like Porsche GT3 straight piped loud. Like I probably shouldn't floor it at any time of day in my neighborhood type loud. And it'll literally pop and bang with the valves closed past 4,000 RPM, and it's completely stock. Which is why I praise this base model as the one to seriously consider, because it sounds amazing, it handles really well, and it's not slow, but it's not too fast either. You get to enjoy the revs, you get to enjoy driving this car, you get to enjoy taking the corners, while a lot of cars nowadays just focus on 0 to 60 times and having 6 million horsepower. That's just boring, and honestly, not having to always check the speedometer to make sure you're not going triple the speed limit or you're about to die is kind of fun. You get to scream all the way to 80 miles an hour, kicking, screaming, pops, bangs, you get it all. Drama every time you drive it, which is the essence of an exotic sports car like this. And while this car, it's not perfect, it's not fast enough to scare you, but it's loud, it's beautiful, and it's just the right amount of dumb to make you fall in love with it. So if that sounds like your kind of mistake, then maybe this is one worth making. Just make sure you get a PPI or definitely get a warranty.